Hey everybody, it's Dave here. How we doing? How's everybody? Okay, so let's see. Today is February the 4th, and we had our first snow there, and we got some more coming today. But before we get into that, I wanted to go ahead and bring everybody up to date, reintroduce myself, and then tell a little ditty. I'm a avid photographer, and that's what I do for a living now. I shoot all kinds of nature, landscapes, moons, deserts, snow, mountains, beaches, and all that kind of good stuff. I ended up chasing around the bald eagles, Jackie and Shadow, and a couple other down here locally that are a little more difficult to get images of. Not that Jackie and Shadow are easy. But yes, about 2 years ago when they had Spirit, their offspring, I rolled up there, some friends up there, stayed up there, and obviously stayed out of the reserved area or protected area for Jackie and Shadow, but managed to find where they kind of cruise around and got some photography of them, grabbing some fish and things like that. Fell in love with those guys watching the live feed. Then I covered last year, started this channel. And just kind of wanted to share my thoughts about Jackie and Shadow as I watched and share them with everybody. So eventually I contacted them because you need permission to use their footage, and they gave me permission. Then, throughout the year, we had some discrepancies and things like that, and we got some clarification on what they liked and what I needed to do. So I corrected all of that, but then they ended up, I don't think they liked so much on my projection thoughts on what the future might hold and things like that. And I understand from what they're from where they're coming from. So I changed those type of things that I was doing. But eventually they contacted me on a technicality, I guess. In my bio, I had originally started the channel and put my website in there. Totally forgot about that, but eventually that was the last little bit that they said you can't do that, and they stopped giving me permission to use their footage. The whole time, I did not make any money, never promoted my page. My photography, I mentioned I was a photographer, things like that. I forget exactly what I said in the very first few shows, but once I got in contact with them, I started out every video with giving them props for the cameras, telling them that they're the company and foundation that runs that, and then always encourage people to go to their shop, buy some things, and donate to them for giving us all the ability to watch their cameras. So, it was understandable on both sides, and, I still like them, still go donate to them. They are the ones that bring all the footage into us, into our living rooms and such. So no animosity there, and I just wanted to clarify all of that, just so everybody knows the full story. Other than that, we're looking at the current conditions, at least this morning at early 6 a.m. of the storm kind of coming in, and it's starting to show up down here at the coast. We are probably going to start to see some rain down here around noon, California time, as well up in Big Bear probably around that same time. It might push out a little further, weather. As I mentioned the other day on my last video, I mentioned that the second storm was going to come on the 6th, but it's showing up a little early, and it's going to be a wet and wild and snowy one for about a week of weather. So, on that note, we'll get into the current conditions and what's happening soon. I tried that AI stuff. Not everybody liked that. I didn't necessarily like it. I just used it for that one video. And everyone's kind of saying just use your own imagery, and that's what I'm going to do. So I don't have that many bald eagle images. I shared most of them what I have already. So I'm going to share some images that I shot around here in the wetlands down in my area of different birds. Kind of give you some cool little images to look at as I talk about some things about Jackie and Shadow. Then I might double back and just give you a different rendition of this one and future episodes on the images that I took, and kind of tell you a little bit about those birds and maybe some technical aspects of photography and such. Hopefully you like that. You guys can let me know. You can check out that other video, kind of similar to this one. of the images, and I'll drop that link in the description box. So check it out if you want. If not, keep watching these. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we have obviously had some conditions come rolling in. As you guys all know, there is a big snow donut that they have created by hanging out in the nest during the storms at night, a little bit during the day too. And it's really amazing how they just kind of hang out and get through these conditions and keep that center bowl over the eggs just dry and or mostly dry but free of snow. It's amazing how well Jackie and Shadow have been trading off on the nest. Obviously, Jackie's the night watch, the night incubator, and then Shadow comes in early in the morning about 6:15 to 6:40 and swap out. They've been doing a tremendous job on staying on the eggs with very little time in between off the eggs. Much better than last season. So that's a very good positive. With the weather conditions, I just wanted to address how Jackie and Shadow and bald eagles in general are built for this weather. Not to fret, they are built for cold. And, just picture the bald eagles up in Alaska. They do the same thing and manage the weather. They run about 106 degrees Fahrenheit on their body temperature. So they stay nice and warm. And even though the snow is coming down, they are able to, stay on top of the eggs, kind of spread their wings a little bit during the heavy snow. Even if it covers them, they stay quite well insulated in that situation. It kind of helps them a little bit keep the wind and all that good stuff, the warmth in, and helps keep the eggs nice and warm at the appropriate incubating temperatures. So not to fret, they can handle that, and the eggs are probably doing really well. And for all bald eagles, Jackie and Shadow included, obviously, they have a ton of feathers. They've got an outside layer that's more a little water repellent with the bigger feathers, and then the down on the inside that keeps the air nice and warm. They kind of fluff it up a little bit and keep their body temperature warming up the air around them as well as the eggs. So they handle this weather quite well. Then both of them, Jackie, the females, have a bigger patch, and it's called a brood patch, which is a little bit of skin on their chest that kind of lays against the eggs where it's kind of a bald. Not to be a bald eagle joke or a pun, but there is a lot less feathers, if not just straight skin, so that it gets great contact with the body temperature of the bald eagle. That obviously transitions into the egg and warms it up. So the males don't have as much brood patch, but still nonetheless does an incredibly good job at transferring the heat from the eagle to the eggs. So that's how that works. And then I did notice a couple days ago that Jackie was actually plucking a couple extra down feathers off her brood patch, maybe to increase the surface area because she's got a lot of eggs. And you can see an example of the brood patch on a bald eagle right here. It does happen naturally. They lose those feathers, but she might pluck some out here and there. Again, maybe because she's got a couple extra eggs, so making that brood patch much bigger. And you can see right here that this is an example of a brood patch. You can see the exposed skin underneath the feathers. So they kind of waddle on in there and get on top of the eggs, and that does a great job of transferring the heat to the eggs. So again, yes, Jackie is the night incubator, and Shadow takes care of primarily most of the day, but Jackie has been coming back and forth, and they've been swapping that out throughout the day. Someone had asked who grabs the fish or other animals that they eat while they're incubating. As of late, it seems like that they're both going out on their off shift and doing their own foraging for food, most likely fish at this point, and eating it off somewhere else on a different tree. Once we get a little closer into longer incubation times, or once the eggs actually hatch, Shadow will be the man, and he'll bring in tons of sticks. He's the stick man, but he's also the fish man too, and he will be bringing in a lot of fish for her once that all occurs. And then the eaglets are wanting some food too, so he'll be doing double and triple time to feed them. Jackie will, on her off time when she's out and about getting her exercise, she'll probably grab some food too. Most likely they will eat some fish out of the lake that you see in the background. Other times they'll grab some rodents or other, shorebirds, lake birds that are more available once the lake gets a little colder and the fish go a little deeper. You'll probably notice that through the season here, that they'll start eating other animals as well as the fish once the fish are tougher to get. But nonetheless, they forage, they do it really well, and they're always bringing in plenty of food. So things should be good on that note too. So that might answer that question for y'all too. Then somebody asked what it's the success rate of, one egg versus two and three. Obviously, we have three here. They have a high likelihood, long as they're fertilized and incubated well, has a really good chance of all three hatching, and I'm sure they'll keep them fed well. And obviously, we're all hoping that all three show up, so we have a nice and busy, action-packed season for all of us to watch. Plenty of food around, plenty of fish. So, we have a good chance at seeing three eaglets one day here. Typically takes about 30 to 45 days for the eggs to incubate and start hatching. A couple days for them to poke out of the egg once they do crack it and pip out. That's what it's called. They're pipping when they first start. Then you got a little small beak in there and crack the egg and work their way out. So once that happens, activity will increase and the show will begin. So with those quick little tidbits and the information I shared already, yes, we do have that storm coming. Like I said, around 1 o'clock California time. It's already showing here. The coastline looks like, there's plenty of clouds coming in and it's getting kind of ominous. So we are supposed to see quite a bit of rain. Depending, it's heavier in certain areas than others. We'll see a couple of inches, 2 to 4 inches down here, and we could see probably another foot of snow, maybe more up in Big Bear and at the nest. So that snowball is going to get bigger and bigger. But again, don't fret. They might be buried. It'll look very, you might have a hard time watching it, but they are warm in there, and they do a tremendous job at keeping the snow out of the nest area where the eggs are. It'll just get deeper and deeper. And after that, it should clear up for a little bit. We'll see what happens with the weather after that. But yes, prepare yourself for a little bit of a snowstorm over the next tonight and for the next few days. So other than that, bunker down for the storm. Enjoy your Super Bowl. We're going to have a snow bowl up there. So we got a couple different bowls to check out. Throughout the next couple of days, we got some snow. My birthday the day before this Super Bowl, and then I will probably check in shortly thereafter to kind of give you some updates and some more tidbits of information. Hope you guys enjoy. Again, check out the link in the description for the other rendition of the images and what kind of goes through my mind and some little techie stuff on photography. Hopefully you enjoy that. Let me know what you guys think of that too. And one other thing before we go and wrap it up, if you want to see the weather conditions beyond what the live feed cam shows, there's a great guy, Nick, up there that covers the weather as it comes in, talks about predictions and things like that, drives around in his car all around Big Bear and shows you the current conditions. Super cool cat. I always log in to check it out for my trips up there, or just checking in on these conditions for Jackie and Shadow too, to share with you, along with some other weather reports. But yeah, check him out. He's a great guy and a great way to see what's going on around Big Bear. I'll put his link in the description below as well. But check him out. Support him. He's a great guy. So other than that, bunker down. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you're watching it. If you're out of the country, you're probably not watching it. Maybe you will. But appreciate all of you guys. You guys are so supportive and such great people. I really do appreciate all these kind comments. So many heartfelt stories in there. With, even people that are sight impaired that get to hear me talk and get a little glimpse into Jackie and Shadow's lives. And so many other heartfelt stories where people have reached out via email and on the comments. So I appreciate all you guys. You're the best. And we will talk to you sometime soon. Take care.